Do you ever find yourself in a situation where someone that you're associated with, maybe a client, maybe a colleague, maybe a personal relationship, is in a space of tough conversation? Ever happens? Today, I'm giving you a model that's going to help you have stronger and more powerful conversations in such situations. And this model is called ESOAP. Okay, remember this, ESOAP, S-O-A-P. Now, the way this model works is that it goes from ESOAP. Now, before you go and speak with someone, you gotta have a solution in your mind, something in your mind. That is the one condition that is required for you to use the ESOAP model. So are you ready? Let's get started. Step number one, E. This stands for empty. So at step one, what you got to do is you got to let the person empty out whatever they're saying, whatever, how much ever they're trying to say. You got to let them empty out. You got to control that urge to jump in between and present your side of the story. So let them empty out. That's step number one. Step number two is sympathy. While they're emptying out, you say things that makes them feel that you're feeling sympathy towards them. Things like, I understand how that would make you feel. I understand the position that would put you in. I understand what must be going through your mind in a situation like this. Okay? So while they're emptying out, you become sympathetic to them. Let's go to step number three. Oh, this is where you take ownership of whatever role you might have played in creating that circumstance. I always work from a space that whatever happens to us, we have a role to play in creating that for us. So before you reach out to the person, before the conversation starts, understand what ownership you need to take up. And after they've emptied out, after you've been sympathetic to them, go and say, I also want to say this, that I understand now in retrospect that we could have done this part better, that part better, it could have affected this much. Now, the part of ownership scares people. It makes them feel, what if the other person starts to think it's completely my fault? The thing is, as long as you're clear in your communication that I understand that this part is where we could have done better. At least this would have done, it may not solve the entire situation, but this could have impacted it this way. The other person starts to feel that the person they're talking to understands, they're honest. They're the kind of person who take ownership. That. Now let's go to the next one. A. Ask for permission. Now what permission are we asking for? We've let them empty out. They've been sympathetic. They've taken ownership. Now after you've taken ownership, you come around and say, now I have a solution in my mind. Can I present that solution? B is where you present that solution. But before you present that solution, you need to ask for permission, because them coming on board with you, them saying, yes, please tell me what's the solution to this, is a very important part of that process. Because the moment they say yes, they mentally signal themselves to now being aligned towards a solution. And then we come to P. P is where you actually present the solution that you had already thought of even before starting with step number one. And that is the ESOAP model. And if you'd like to get access to more of such powerful tools that help you manage various kind of relationships, I'd like to invite you to my upcoming workshop called The New Rules of Professional Networking, happening on 23rd, 24th, and 25th of January in Gurgaon. The details are available at this URL. Take care. I look forward to seeing you there.